Hello and welcome to Bartend Talks, So You Want to Go to Law School. While there's so many lawyer jokes, more and more people want to get into the profession of law. There's been a steady increase in recent years in applicants to law schools, especially during the pandemic. This increase in law students has led to an oversupply of lawyers, meaning that legal jobs are harder and harder to come by in most states. One of the main drivers of people into the legal education system is the media. The plethora of legal dramas on television has without question led to this spike in law student applications. We're here to discuss the reality of working in the legal field and figuring out if this in fact is for you. Spoiler alert, it's not for everyone, and spoiler alert, it's not like it is on TV. Before going to law school, I imagined the life of an attorney as being very prestigious. However, one of the common gripes by most attorneys is that they feel that they're crapped on by clients and judges all day, every day. Law school generally is extremely competitive, not just getting into it, but once you're there, nothing changes. Generally, most law students' progression is quite similar. It begins in the undergraduate years with a focus on high GPAs and strong LSAT scores. The first year of law school is usually carved out for most students with close to no wiggle room for elective courses. After first year, most students intern somewhere to gain experience. Many of the jobs are unpaid or pay very little unless you're towards the top of your class or extremely lucky. The second year begins with a bit of more freedom to choose classes you may be more interested in, and the summer following once again is usually reserved for internships for most students. The third year is in essence an extension of the second. Usually most students begin to lose patience and anxiously await going out into the real world. After third year, most students prepare for and then take the bar exam. If you've decided the law school's for you, what should you expect? The Socratic method, that's what you should expect. The Socratic method commences from a viewpoint that the student already knows the answer, and that the professor serves merely as a guide to walk them through the logic and deduce the answer. As a result, students are cold called and expected to have lengthy discussions about cases, all the while the professor changes the facts of the case in order to refine the idea of why the rule is the way it is and what exceptions may exist to a rule of law. Generally, this is the most terrifying part of law school for most students. The idea of not knowing when you'll be called upon and the stress of having to always be prepared are generally the most frequent reasons for student burnout. No ifs, ands, or buts. Public speaking is a must. For those that are paralyzed by public speaking, this is something that you must get over, or the law school experience will be miserable for you. Most classes will require you to speak in front of the class. Some will require you to present an argument before mock judges, and some schools will go as far as requiring an appellate brief that at some point prior to graduation you must present. The brief would have to be argued before a panel of judges. Either way, presentations in public will be a regularly required thing and something you cannot hide from or escape. Your law school friends will be your friends for your professional career. There's something to be said for going through the traumatic years of law school together that creates a shared bond, much like surviving basic training in the military. The bond formed is usually quite strong. My wife and I are both law school graduates. When we think back to our own experiences and refer to law school as a boot camp for your mind, it is an excellent training ground for how to properly think, use logic, and that sense is invaluable as a life experience. However, law school takes place in an imaginary universe governed by laws and rules that in fact do not exist anywhere outside of it. So be prepared to have any legal knowledge you have already, in essence, become useless and join a universe that operates under its own rules of physics. The upturn in enrollment in law schools generally means less jobs, as we discussed before, available after graduation. This is a typical letter sent out to an accepted law student from a major university. Please note that they're attempting to get the admitted student to sign up for the following year's course simply because they're so overburdened this year. The truth of the matter is that these decisions in law school admissions will impact the job market for years to come. As a result of the lack of legal jobs, many law school graduates opt to try and make their own jobs, start their own businesses, or start their own firms. The issue, however, is the trend to now permit non-lawyers into the sector as well. Companies such as LegalZoom are taking an ever-increasing number of clients from small firms. In closing, law school and the practice of law are extremely stressful and generally unappreciated. The legal profession does not carry with it the same professional weight that it once did. The decisions to flood the market with law students virtually guarantees limited job options, and the fact that thinking pessimistically or negatively is in essence a job requirement leads many lawyers to burn out, require mental health assistance, and many to die of heart attacks and other medical conditions earlier than many other professions. On a positive note, the practice of law can also be very rewarding and allow a significant amount of freedom over most careers. Finally, the limitations by the bar are something to keep in mind. One major concern for many lawyers has been addressed recently with the uniform bar exam. The fact that lawyers are licensed by state creates an issue if a practitioner decides to relocate. They would have to retake the bar exam in essence. The UBE has presented a different option and allows you to apply your same scores to multiple states and might give future practicing attorneys a bit more freedom than we currently have. Overall, the practice of law can be very rewarding, but extremely stressful. It's important that you have a real and tangible view of what you're investing so much time and money into. So usually I would advise interning in a law firm before making your final decision. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell because we upload content on a regular basis. We want you to have our newest content immediately as we upload. We'll discuss getting into law school, what the journey is like, train you on everything necessary to succeed in law school, and then prepare you for the bar exam and your first legal job. Thank you for being with us. We look forward to seeing you again.